We've been getting a lot of questions from buyers and property professionals about why the cost to build has gotten so high. I'm here to answer that. Hey everyone, Andy Trin from Surveyors here for another video designed to help you become a better property investor. If you're dreaming of building a new home, you may be wondering how recent events have impacted house construction prices, including builders' cost and the availability of building materials. Unfortunately, due to the unstable exchange rates, supply chains being impacted, and reduced productivity due to the pandemic restrictions, building costs have risen and the time to complete projects has dragged out, pushing up the cost of construction. So on that note, is it better to buy or build right now? Well, our team at Surveyors have recently researched and put together some data insights that will help you with that decision. But before we get it started, we want to be clear that this video is for informational purposes. In no way should you interpret this as financial advice. We always recommend working with a qualified financial advisor or tax agent to give you the best advice for your situation. There is no doubt that the construction industry is doing its best to maintain momentum through this period to support economic recovery. But in general, the building sector is still experiencing a major price increase in building materials, especially when it comes to steel and timber products, due to the sourcing and shipping constraints. There are three main causes of building price inflation. First, the Black Summer bushfires in 2019 and 2020 destroyed a large amount of local hardwood and softwood. Second, believe it or not, before the pandemic, roughly 25% of Australia's structural timber came from abroad. So supply decreased quite dramatically due to the shipping constraints brought by the pandemic. And lastly, home builder. The state-based programs have provided extensive support to the housing sector, but have sparked labour shortages and helped push the price of materials up by as much as 50%. So it's great for the economy that Australia is experiencing a building boom, but it has created major challenges in supply chains with builders, meaning some projects can't start on time. And disruptions to the international supply chains are only making things a bit more tricky to navigate. So essentially, building costs across all major Australian markets are growing faster than inflation, and it looks like that is likely to continue for a few years due to the construction demand, a shortage of skilled labourers, and rising shipping costs for materials. According to the International Construction Market Survey conducted by Turner & Townsend, Sydney, Perth and Brisbane markets will experience annual construction cost increases of more than 3% up to the end of 2023. Sydney remains the most expensive state to build in, with general labour costs increasing by 6.5%. Melbourne and Adelaide will likely experience cost increases of around 2.5%. Adelaide has experienced the most significant building cost materials, with the timber supply costs increasing up to 80% in the last quarter. In response to that, the government has allocated funding to facilitate skills training and apprentice support, so that the construction industry can meet its skill shortages and focus on sustainability going forward, but we think it's going to be a while before this kicks in. Okay, so what does that actually mean for your decision to buy or build? Well, for now, it seems as if contractors are absorbing the material price increase, but with the prices likely to continue rising, it's unlikely that they will be able to sustain the absorption. So if you're considering building a new property, it's worth taking into account that there is likely to be a significant increase in project costs. When it comes down to an exact cost, it's important to keep in mind that the cost of building a house varies according to where you plan to build, the size of the property, and the quality of finishes. But according to BuildSearch's latest price estimation, you can expect buildings to cost on average between $900 per square metre to $3,100 per square metre. If we translate that into the total cost, you can probably expect to pay from $280,000 to build a basic 3-bedroom home. If you're looking for something higher end, you can expect to pay at least $460,000 to build a 3-bedroom home. But obviously, once you start factoring in extras such as landscaping, driveways, retaining walls, fences, and finishings and fittings, your costs can increase significantly. These are just the build prices. It doesn't include the lot prices. According to the annual State of Land report published by the Urban Development Institute of Australia, the average lot price in Sydney is $459,000. In Adelaide, you can expect to pay around $180,000 for the average lot, plus you have stamp duty fees. There's also a lot that can change. For example, if a builder starts digging into your foundations and finds that they have to dig down further to hit firm footings, you'll eventually have to pay for more concrete to be poured. So it's always a good idea to budget for around 10% of the total build price to allow for fluctuations. Okay, so we have covered the basics of construction cost and why it's experienced price increases, but how does that compare to buying established properties? Well, the price of purchasing an established home has also skyrocketed. According to CoreLogic's index results at the end of August 2021, Australia has experienced an 18.4% increase in the cost of established dwellings. So either way, the cost of building a home and buying a home has increased. At the end of the day, the average cost of building a house varies due to a range of factors, including size, location, and quality of fixtures and fittings. So you'll need to establish exactly what you want and compare that to buying an established dwelling. As quantity surveyors, we're tasked with estimating the cost of building so that you have a more accurate way of comparing the option of either building or buying an existing property. But we hope this has helped you give some insights into why the building prices have increased and what to expect going forward. If you have found this video helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more property investment tips. I'm Andy Trin from Duo Tax. See you next time.